How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. Good morning. Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. This was a video that's been requested several times, and as I always say, I try to write all this stuff down. I'm just slowly getting to it. If this is your first time watching, my name is Aaron Young. I'm a fishing and spearfishing guide down in Key West, Florida. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what one of my days looks like, and hopefully there'll be some action involved as well. We're going out diving today. I'm just going to kind of bring you along on what my normal day looks like. Most of my videos start up on the balcony, which is fitting because that's where most of my days start. Today we're diving, so I come down here. I'm going to grab my dive gear. This is where I hang everything every afternoon to dry. Grab my suit, weight belt, all that good stuff, and fins, and I will see you down at the boat. Weather is looking fantastic today. So the great thing about my commute is it's only about 10 minutes from my house to my boat, so that's very nice. Let's get loaded. So the good thing about dive trips that I have found is I get to sleep in just a hair, because diving, the clients are bringing their own gear, so it's less for me to load. No rigging, there's no bait. I don't have to tie any baits or anything like that. So but if you're interested in being a charter captain, most days start fairly early. So if you like to sleep in, may not be for you. So everything is done, boat is ready to go. Now I just sit and wait for my clients. Something you don't think about, well, possibly. I think probably the two most stressful things, well, three, but two that happen in the morning is, one, the weather. I gotta, pretty much every day I'm concerned with what the weather's doing, especially if I tell my clients one thing and it's the opposite. And every morning I have to meet a group of strangers, for the most part. What's going on, fellas? We're doing all right. Aaron.
Chris.
Chris.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. Name's again.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, man.
Aaron.
Mike.
Mike. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How we doing, guys? Doing all right? I have no complaints currently.
We're on the water. It's a good day. Yeah.
We have some phenomenal weather. So we are on our first spot. It's time to suit up and get to the action. Real quick, I'll introduce you. We've got Mike and Chris. Big thanks to them for kind of letting me do this. And again, I've said this has been a requested video to kind of do a ride along on a charter. Just kind of show you the process and what goes on, kind of what goes through my head. I don't know what it feels like on their end, but for me, most charters are fairly stressful because it is my responsibility to put my clients on fish. That's the main goal. Obviously get back safely, but the main objective of the day is to put some fish in the boat, and it can be kind of a stressful thing, but we're gonna give it hell and see what happens. Come along with us. Welcome back underwater, everybody. Thanks for joining me. As I always do, I'm going to share my thoughts on some of these dives. And as I always preach, remember, this is just a highlight reel. We had plenty of dives on this day where we didn't see fish, plenty of spots that we didn't see fish. All in all, it was a fairly slow day, but we ended up with a few fish to take home. So again, this is the first spot. There wasn't the normal life I'm used to seeing, so a lot of times if I'm not seeing anything, I'll just drop regardless. Getting at a different depth gives you a little bit different perspective, different angle on fish. Sometimes there's fish you may not see. So if I'm in an area and I don't see anything, a lot of times I'll just still drop. And sometimes just dropping alone will bring fish into you, but on this dive it did not. Nice little coral head. Quite honestly, I had never actually seen this coral head, and I just wanted to poke my head in there and see if by chance there was a grouper in it so I could save it. All kinds of life though there. Just not what I was looking for. So we have hit 2 spots. Haven't even seen a shootable fish. Well, other than grouper, but those are out of season. So this is where my mind starts to go. What am I doing wrong? Are there just not fish here? Do I need to move to a different area? What's got to change? So just a part of the process. On to the next. So I want to say this was our 4th spot of the day. A little bit more life, still not exactly what I'm looking for. This time of year, groupers closed, hogfish is closed, which I don't shoot hogfish any time of the year, but so I'm hitting a little different style spots, a little more hard bottom, less big ledges and caves and stuff, because that's mainly where you're going to see the grouper. There's a nice red sitting there. And because there's not a lot of hiding spots, I'm more so going with the go lay on the bottom method. Hopefully stuff will be curious, kind of see me a little hidden and kind of come check me out. A lot of times we're just kind of dive bombing on fish that we see if the viz is good or good enough. Finally get some shooter size mangroves in here. Nothing, no monsters, but just to give you a little bit of reference, I think the smallest mangrove was probably 15 inches, 16 inches, so not monsters, but also not babies. And you know I love my mangroves. I typically don't shoot fish on a charter, but I had asked these guys ahead of time if it was okay if I shot a couple just for the sake of footage and whatnot. So, and this is Chris, I believe, down on the bottom. Took a shot on a mangrove and just hit it just barely high. Unfortunately, I wasn't close enough to get a good angle on that shot. These guys were harder to follow around than I am. They were kind of zipping in and around, so it was hard to get some footage of them, but I'm guilty of that more than anybody. But this mangrove he was dazed pretty good. He didn't, normally after you shoot a fish and it tears out, this thing is gonna, it's gonna haul butt, and this fish was definitely dazed. I didn't want to leave it down there. I hate leaving an injured fish on the bottom. And as always, I'm just trying to be real patient, wait till it gives me the right shot, that nice broadside. And I always say, a rushed shot is worse than no shot. I know sometimes it's hard to be patient when you don't do this a while, but it really, really helps a ton on your accuracy. You know the drill. Nice, man. Hold them up. Let me see. Sweet. There you go. That's a nice one. Chris shot a real nice button. Unfortunately, I missed it. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hit the like button if you have not already. I know it's annoying, but I promise you it helps a ton. It helps so much, and it's so easy to do. It's free. So you can see there's not much here. It's just kind of fans and some little chunky rocks and whatnot. Lots and lots of mangroves around. I was looking for muttons, but they're just a healthy amount of mangroves, and this fish is well within range, but I'm just waiting until I'm sure of my shot. And the mangroves are great practice. If you're new to this, mangroves are shifty, they're kind of small, they're really, really good target practice, and they're delicious to eat, so a good go-to fish for beginners. And I think this is the clip of the big porgy. There were a couple nice porgies cruising around, and you know how much I love my porgies. Yeah, there it is. And this is an example of a rushed shot. This fish is on its way out, leaving me, not broadside. I don't even know why I pulled the trigger, but there's your example right there. I rushed that shot. That fish did not give me the broadside. Kind of threw a Hail Mary, and I clearly missed. One of those situations where I'm telling myself not to shoot, and I still did, and I don't know why. Porgy on the brain, I assume. And quite honestly, the water's not normally this clear. I mean, you've seen all kinds of videos. If you guys have been watching for a while, you've seen all kinds of different conditions. This is actually on the more clear side that we see down here in Key West. All these first clips are about 30 feet of water or so, 30, 35 at the most, I think. This is Mike. Finally got a chance to follow him down. He's nice and patient, gets well within range of this fish. I mean, he's only 6 feet away. And gets him a perfect stone shot there. When they first hopped in, they had missed a couple of fish, I'll be honest. Don't want to call them out, but it's natural. You don't dive a lot, you get excited. But as the day went on, they started to find their stride, and they really improved with their shot quality. I got that on film.
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
Stone shot, baby. Nice one. There you go. Threw a Hail Mary at him.
Hail Mary.
Uh-oh. So we are 4 spots in, and some fish are finally starting to show up. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. So this is the next spot, same depth. Right when we jumped in, there was some nice chunky mangroves. And a lot of times, it depends on the fish, but a lot of times fish won't hang out. So, you know, if they're in, they're comfortable, you got to make a drop quick, or you may lose an opportunity. Got him another nice one there. Nice. Came in broadside and gave him the perfect shot. Nice one. We hadn't seen a fish in a while, and I was actually already on the bottom. I didn't have my camera on. This nice mutton came in. So I waved Chris down, and I mean, obviously I easily could have shot that fish, but I'd much rather have one of these boys shoot it. It's a very nice mutton snapper. Not a huge fan of the fish dangling, but definitely room for improvement there. I think you learn something every day. Hopefully these boys learned a few things. Yeah, baby. That is gonna be a cool clip. Nice shot, brother. Right when I was about ready to give up on this spot. Good job, man. That was a nice one. You. That was a cool clip. Hopefully that turns out.
I know.
Some fish starting to show up. They're here and there. Not firing off by any means, but we're slowly plucking at them. Wind picked up a little bit. On to the next. So we've been in at about 30 feet all day. Been doing pretty good. Started out a little bit slow, but we made some headway. A couple of muttons, some mackerel, a bunch of mangroves, and a nice yellowjack. So we're gonna move out a little deeper. Let these boys practice some depth. And see what's down there. So like I said, we moved out just a smidge deeper. We had, you know, plenty of fish to eat. I wanted to do a couple deeper drops, see if we could put bigger fish in the boat, and these boys wanted to practice a couple deeper dives and see how they felt. We had been in 30 feet most of the day. A little grouper came up to greet me. The spot was pretty quiet, I'll be honest. There wasn't nearly as much as I'm used to seeing. I think every spot for the most part was quiet this day. You can see this nice red comes in. I'm not going to shoot it, I'm just messing with it. I've had these red groupers actually come up and scratch up against my shaft. They're pretty funny. A lot of people think they're dumb. They're just actually very aggressive. You'll notice if you're fishing, a lot of times the first fish you catch on a spot is a red grouper. And a lot of you guys liked the kind of practice and holding your breath thing last time, so this is a good dive to practice. I'll kind of walk you through what I'm thinking right now. This is my breathe up. I'm just trying to relax every part of my body from my toes up to my shoulders. Any bit of tension I'm holding on to is killing oxygen, so I'm literally just trying to relax every muscle, my jaw, my neck, my calves, my toes, my fingers, everything. I just want to be as relaxed as possible. This entire process, my eyes are closed. I'm almost meditating. So try and get your breath. I'll tell you when you have 10 seconds and you can come along with me. Seconds. You can hear my inhales are not like smooth and my exhales are longer than my inhales. One big breath to go down. Exhaling naturally lowers your heart rate. Inhaling naturally rises it. So when you inhale, you want it a little bit shorter than your exhale. Some people say double. Just in general, I try to keep a nice slow breathing rhythm. Just kind of scanning around. A little mutton there cruising around. Did a couple grunts. Normally there's a couple shooter muttons here, but just like I said, it was a little bit quiet. This one comes in, and quite honestly, this fish was legal. I don't know, I just wasn't sold on it. It wasn't a big one. Maybe if he would have came right up to me and gave me the go-ahead shot, I probably would have taken it, but I was being a little bit lazy here. Almost there, you got it. Yeah.
I made it to the bottom.
There's a small mutton and a borderline mutton. Alrighty, we are out of time. We've got what I would call a fairly happy box. Some nice muttons, yellowjack, bunch of mangroves in there you can't see. So we're gonna head back and see you at the fillet table.
Threaded the needle.
Like a glove. Not so bad. So typically first thing we do is lay these out for a photo, and then I get to filleting. Obviously I'm not going to wash the boat while my clients sit here and wait for me to do that. So first things first, get these out and get them filleted. Not too bad.
Great.
Not too bad.
Hey man.
I appreciate you fellas.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for coming out.
Let's
You
do
guys
it
had a little
again.
bit of fun and
Let's do it again.
enjoy some fish.
Yeah.
Quick.
I appreciate you guys. Be safe getting back. It was a pleasure. So that is the end of the charter, but it is not the end of the day. Something I did forget to mention this morning, and it's not a complaint, just a reality for anyone that thinks they may want to be a guide or a captain. When you show up for a charter, you don't see everything that's happened before, and when you leave, you don't see everything that happens after. So I still have got to clean the boat, clean the gear, unload, and kind of repack for tomorrow. I'd say on my average full day charter, which is supposed to be 8 hours, it's probably about a 12-hour day for me. So just wanted to keep that in mind. And actually these boys were kind enough to leave me a couple fish, so I think I'm gonna wrap this cleaning up, but I'm not gonna make you watch that. That's boring, and we'll cook something up in the kitchen. I'll see you in a bit. What are you doing? dropped your bone? You're a nut. This is crazy. Where all of my days start and end. Life is all right. We are in the kitchen. I'm not going to do a full-blown recipe here. I've done fried fish before. If you're interested in how we do fried fish, I'll put that video's link in the description. But I did want to kind of close this out as the theme of the video. It's, you know, kind of how my normal day is. I would say all charter captains, but I can't speak for everybody. But a lot of times clients do leave me fish, so we have fish to eat. Sometimes Malin gets tired of fish. She's from Texas, so she likes her red meat. But anyways, I wanted to show you a little pro tip. Malin hasn't tried this yet. We do fried fish a lot. This is just a little secret sauce. This is Sriracha and honey. If you like sweet and sour, or sweet and spicy rather, that's about 1 part Sriracha to 4 parts honey. So Malin is going to be my taste tester.
Ooh, is
And
it
that
hot?
fish, it's warm. It didn't just come out.
Mmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Look at a piece.
Oh, I wanted some more of that though.
Some more sauce?
It's like the perfect amount of spice. That sweetness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk back.
We're spicy people. So maybe like 6 parts honey.
Mm.
1 part Sriracha if you don't like spice. But that is all we got. That's my average day and the life of Aaron Young. I got nothing else for you. I do appreciate y'all's time. Like if you haven't, subscribe if you're not. And we will see you on the next one. Later.